The media circus doesn't love you. Welcome to Positive Emotional Healing. This is Roger McDonald. The media circus doesn't love you. What do I mean by that? You've got to understand the media, that it's designed, newspaper articles, clickbait headlines, videos, thumbnails, they're designed to trigger your reptilian brain. Now, every human being's got a reptilian brain. It's part of our animal nature. Our reptilian brain is the primal part of the brain which is designed to fight, flee, or freeze. It's designed with ensuring your survival. When the media does headlines, they train journalists. If you read any book about how to be a journalist, the headline has to get your attention. If it doesn't get your attention, then you're not going to read it. If you don't read it or watch the video, then they're not going to earn money through advertising revenue. Thus, the journalism and media in the current day and age has got in the habit of, let's bend the truth a little bit, or let's outright lie in order to get people's attention, because when we get their attention, they're more likely to read the article or watch the video or watch the news, and then they will end up getting money, advertising revenue. The more you pay attention to the media, the more money they make. It's the way it is. And I don't want to judge them. I just understand that, that's how the media is. If they didn't do that, people wouldn't buy their product. Now, this comes back to humanity as a whole, because there's a part of every human being, including you and me, we have this reptilian brain. We all share this kind of brain. It's a primal animal brain. And we let ourselves get sucked in. We say, you know what? I'm going to pay attention to that. I know it's not true. I know it's not 100% true. Maybe it's only 1% true. Maybe it's only 10% true or 15% true. But it's got my attention. Now, if you find yourself reading the newspaper or watching the news, it's all affecting you on a subliminal, unconscious level. It's programming you how to be, how to feel, how to think. Your brain, sometimes people watch the news or read a newspaper and they go to bed replaying over and over and over and over and over the clickbait headlines, the untrue headlines. Now, let's talk about, I'm not going to call it for what it is, but I'm just going to say it in another example. Let's call it the blue belly jelly virus. There's a new virus in the world today. It's called the blue belly jelly virus. All the media has to do is say there's 4 new cases, there's 20 new cases, there's 128 new cases of blue jelly belly virus. And that gets your attention. You go, whoa, what's happening there? But if you read the article, go into the actual body of the report, you'll find that they don't quote sources accurately. They may not even mention the names, they will not mention the names of people unless they're a celebrity. And you don't really know for sure whether you're being told the truth or not. There is a department within big newspapers and big media companies that is designed purely to create sensationalist media. They think about, what can I write that would be controversial, that would get people's attention, that would make people take notice, and that would cause get people's attention, think, oh wow, this is really happening. Often it's not really happening. It's just a journalist has written this article or created this video or created this news statement in order just to get people's attention, to create conflict which is not there. And we as human beings, because we love drama, we love binge watching, we love our Netflix and all those we love our fantasy. Human beings are so caught up in fantasy, whether it's video games, whether it's television series, whether it's movies. And that's just how human beings are. Everyone likes a little bit of drama. However, this is passed over onto the media. Now, where responsible journalism needs to take place is that if there's a huge epidemic like the mega blue jelly belly virus, which is spreading across the world, this huge blue jelly belly virus pandemic, the media needs to be a little bit more responsible in how they are programming the population, and ethical in how they're getting people's attention, because they're not being clear. They're not being clear on whether it's a suspected case or whether it is actually a case of triple blue jelly belly virus. They're not being clear, and that ambiguity can cause people stress, can make people depressed, can make people really negative and suicidal, and panic and think the world is ending. The media has an ethical responsibility in order to make sure that what they're putting out is factual. But then again, they know a newspaper, if it put out completely factual headlines and facts and statistics that were completely accurate and backed up by scientific evidence, that people probably wouldn't pay attention to it. We have this reptilian brain where we've got to pay attention to, say for example, you're walking down the street and then in the distance you see a bush move and you think, what's that? What is that? And you hear this growl coming out of that bush. All of a sudden you're on alert because you've seen something that's caught your attention. Same with when you're walking past a newsstand or browsing through social media, you see this headline that says, killer, terrorist, bombs, building. And then then you go, whoa, what is that? Because your brain goes, I'm in danger. This could be vital for my security and survival. So that's why people pay attention to that. The media knows this. They know that unless they trigger you, elevate your emotions, activate your fight, flight, freeze, survival mentality, they're not going to get your attention. So pretty much the front page of any newspaper is loaded to get your attention. Whether the facts are true or not, it's understanding that a lot of journalists are values-based. They're values-based. They're not necessarily reporting the facts or the truth of what's happening. They're just reporting an angle. They're reporting their agenda, and they're giving clickbait, sensationalist, reptilian brain, activating survival headlines to make you read it and make you watch it. So it's just to understand that I'm not saying don't believe everything that's in the media. I'm not saying it's all BS. I'm not saying it's all lies. I'm just saying that when you see a headline like that, you've got to understand that they're deliberately writing the headline or announcing the headline in a manner that gets your attention. It may not be true. It may not be even 1% true. It's very rare that it's true what they're saying, unless they say there is a volcano erupting 2 kilometers from your house. And you can look out your window and you can see a volcano erupting 2 kilometers from your house. Then you know that that's 100% true. They've said the truth. But then they've got to spin it. They've got to add their bit. They've got to sensationalize it. They've got to create conflict. They've got to create drama. They've got to create a villain. They've got to create a hero. They've got to create a narrative which gets people attention because we love stories. Culturally, we're programmed with stories. We love stories. That's how we've passed on information for thousands of years. It's through stories, whether written or verbal. And now through obviously through pictures and videos and movies and stuff. We love stories. We love drama. So they know that in order to get our attention, they've got to make it dramatic. They've got to make it a narrative. They've got to make it a bad guy because that gets our attention. And we're a bit to blame as well. Human beings, if we all of a sudden, 99% of the human race said, you know what, I only want to read headlines that are 100% true, then the media would go out of business because people wouldn't pay attention because they know it's lies. I'm sure that 100 years from now, they're going to analyze the media that we have today and how it's promoted this blue jelly belly virus pandemic around the world and analyze and realize that probably only 1% of it was true. A lot of the cases were suspected cases. A lot of the cases were flu. A lot of the cases were the medical system and the political system, governments and doctors and professionals and specialists just covering themselves, just making sure, but then the media making sure that it's not the real thing. And then the media grabs hold of it and says, instead of saying 100 suspected cases, they say 100 cases, or even 200 cases, or 10,000 cases. Hope you get the drift. The media circus doesn't love you. It doesn't have your best interests at heart. It just wants your money. It just wants you to pay them money, wants you to pay them attention. It wants you to drag everybody into their narrative that you know. The media circus doesn't love you. This is Roger McDonald, and how is this relevant to your positive emotional healing? Because if you believe stuff that's not true, it's not going to make you happy. It's going to make you sad. It's going to make you negative. It's going to make you depressed. It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you anxious. But if you can see that the media is not designed to be positive, it's not designed to make you happy, it's not designed to report the news, then you'll be a lot happier. You'll be able to look at it and go, wow, I can see what they're doing. I understand why they're doing it. They've got a product to sell. They've got advertising money. If they don't make it sensational, they're not going to attract advertisers. They're not going to attract clicks. Once you understand that, you can detach from it, separate yourself from it and go, yeah, it's probably 1% true. In some cases, less than 0.001% true. I understand what they're doing. I understand humanity loves that kind of stuff. You know what? For me, I'm going to detach from it. I'm going to separate from it. I'm going to talk to experts. I'm going to find out my facts myself. Roger McDonald from Positive Emotional Healing. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you got some value from that.